Alright, I just finished a book titled Crossing California. This is the cover. There's nothing left of it because I ripped it all up. It was just so many pages. I got to the point where it was falling apart on me, so I just started ripping pages out. Figured no one would want to read this anyway. It's definitely a book that was easy to put down. There's just so much confusion. How many authors have to tell the detail about what they're wearing and what the background looks like, all the little trinkets in the background, what the person was thinking when they said something, all the details, every chance this author got, Adam Langer, every chance he got, he just squeezed in detail after detail, referencing the times. The story is set in Chicago in the late 70s, just before Ronald Reagan got elected. He was already elected just before he got sworn in January 20th or so. And it's these kids who were Jewish, and there's a lot of Jewish reference, and they lived on I think some lived on one side of California and some lived on another side, and there was like a good side and a bad side. Okay, so it sounded like they made a difference. He's trying to set a difference between the lifestyles of some families. And it might have been 5 families, I'm not sure. He jumped around from person to person and gave such intimate details about each person that I've got them all confused. Somebody wanted to be a rock and roll star, and there was a radio show, and some people smoked dope. I don't know who, but there were sounds like maybe there were 13-year-olds smoking marijuana or something. There's just, and then we got the parents even. He was talking about the parents of these kids and going into intimate detail about the parents and their relationships and lack of relationships and jobs and stuff, and how they're going to pay for the bar mitzvah. It was just, I don't know if he had if you wanted to make a movie or TV show of this book for this guy, he would be a micromanager. He's a micromanaging style of an author who has to have every single little detail pointed out. This particular song was playing as this girl was thinking this, as she was saying this, as she was wearing this, and this was every piece of furniture in the room at the time. It's like, it just, all the detail just takes so much away from the story. And then he had to talk about everything. He tried to focus on concentrating on just like a couple of months up until, and Reagan was only mentioned like 3 times in the book. It really wasn't at all about any national stage. There were just kind of mild references to give you an idea. And I gotta say, I can kind of relate to some of the references, because this was written like when I was a 5-year-old, and so I remember some of the stuff vaguely. But we're talking the difference between these guys being in the heart of Chicago, where there's gangsters still, and the Jewish community was pretty strong, and me living in northern Wisconsin in a trailer court, or in a remote farm for a little bit, in a trailer court and then a remote farm. So I could kind of understand some of the references, but not all. But this book was, I was thinking about just quitting early every so often. It's just too much. It's too much. It was a book that I could easily put down and forget about, but since it's free, what the heck. So if you want to read about teenagers doing Jewish teenagers doing drugs, there was a black guy in here, and I wasn't sure about him being a black guy until towards the end, where they explicitly said he was a black guy, and he was a videographer, and he had a love for a Jewish girl or something, and he sounded like such a Jew to me, but he was a black guy. He knows how to break in the homes. There's just so much detail. But some things could have been explained better than he could have this author could have taken more time explaining maybe the situation better than all the details of what everybody's wearing and listening to and thinking and what's in the room, and I don't know.